What's going on, guys? It's your average consumer, and today we are spending a real day in the life with the iPhone SE. Not technically two, but the version we got in 2020. You guys are gonna basically spend the day with me and the phone, learn all of its features, see what it's all about. But right now, I'm shooting on the front-facing camera of the iPhone SE, and it's interesting. I'm seeing a lot of overexposed stuff in the viewfinder, at least what's on the screen. So it looks like these white areas are really white, so you can't really see a lot of detail, but I don't know, we'll see how it looks on the computer. But right now I got my girl Cookie over here, and Cookie wants to go for a walk, right mama? You want to go in the grass? Come on, let's go check it out. She's like, I'm all for that. So this right here, guys, is the rear camera, so you guys can see what the quality is like here. And from what I can tell right now, just from the viewfinder on the screen, looks pretty darn good. Who knew that you can get such crazy video quality out of a $400 phone? Hey, Cookie. Man, once she gets into this spot, she don't care about nobody. There we go. You just wanted to see the face real quick, mama. Shake, don't be scared. I ain't gonna do nothing to you. Shake. There we go. Acting all scared for the camera. This quality, though, man, looks kind of crazy. Okay, so now let's talk about something for a second. While the iPhone SE looks like an iPhone 8, and a lot of people basically say this is just an iPhone 8, there are a few key differences that we gotta talk about. Now, obviously, when you look at the body of these two phones, they look pretty much the same. They really are the same, but they do have a few aesthetic differences. Now, I believe this one was technically called the Silver. This is the iPhone 8 over here in this hand, and this is the iPhone SE. Now, this is white, and you guys can kind of see the difference here. This one has like a darker shade to it compared to the iPhone. So they're really trying to hit that white while this was that silver. So, you know, that makes sense. They changed the logo, they took away the iPhone, gave it an overall cleaner look. And when you look up front, you can also see that they kind of changed things here. Now it has the black front, and every color option you choose for the iPhone SE has this black front. So you won't have that white like you saw, or silver like you saw if you went with this option. So I like that. I know a lot of people like the red and black combo. That was a huge thing back in the day. And so now you can have that option if you like, and it comes straight from Apple. So you do get a lot of same things here in terms of the overall body, but those are like the main key differences in terms of the aesthetics. But we are looking at like the same camera, although things are different in the camera, and we'll talk about that. You get the same home button, you get the same buttons on the sides, you get those volume controls, you get that power button. Everything else pretty much matches up, but you know, new internals. So yes, this thing does have the body of an iPhone 8, but it is not an iPhone 8 by any means. This thing has the A13 Bionic processor, which is the really big deal here and what makes it a really great value. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna hear A13 Bionic, processor talk, blah, blah, blah. But you gotta pay attention to that because it's what makes this thing have all the value that it has. So not only are you getting a device that looks like an iPhone 8, but you're getting something that has the power of an iPhone 11 Pro, 11 Pro Max, 11, whatever you wanna say. Last year's phones, the most recent ones, are pretty powerful devices, and this is right up there with them. Now, how does that translate to someone like the average consumer? Well, you even have like this camera lens, right? Even though this is the iPhone 8's camera lens, because it has that A13 Bionic chip, you're gonna get better picture quality and video quality out of this phone. It's a new camera system because it has that processor. It's just able to do a lot more than it could in the past with the older processor. So there's a lot more to this phone than just the hardware side of things. But before we go on, I do wanna talk about the fact that this phone has a 4.7-inch display, and coming from a phone like the iPhone 11 Pro Max, it is a huge difference, guys. So if you're coming from something like the iPhone 10 or up, I don't know if this is gonna be the phone that you wanna go to unless you're really looking to change up that form factor, because man, this screen is a lot smaller. Take a look at this. The phone fits completely inside of the screen of the iPhone 11 Pro Max. But I will say, in the hand, it feels absolutely awesome. Easy to use. But one thing though, guys, is those bezels. They're no joke. But the trade-off here is at least you get that home button, which I personally love. It makes getting into the phone a breeze. Like I can live with that all day, guys. And just to give you guys a bit of a battery update, it is 255. and we are currently at 64%. So that's actually not too bad. Let's see what the screen on time is. So right here it says I've been using it for about 2 hours. So that's not too bad, but right now, guys, I need to get this place cleaned up because it is a mess being down here for so long during this whole quarantine has caused this place to get a little bit messy. So I gotta clean it up, get this place together, and then Ari and I will be going for a walk, and we're gonna take this guy with us. All right, so I finished cleaning up for the most part. I think I did a pretty decent job here, at least for now. Got here a bit cleaned up. I actually recorded all of that you guys saw in the time lapse. I said time lapse pretty weird just now, but the time lapse was recorded with this. It is weird though. One of the time lapses didn't really work out. This one was fine. This one is just continuing to load. I don't really know what happened here, but that one is not going to be recovered. So we just got these guys. Not really sure what happened there, but either way, here is pretty much cleaned up and it is time to go on a little walk with Ari. These cables though, I definitely gotta work on that. Maybe I can make a video out of this. Okay guys, so Ari and I are on our little walk right now. Ari, you wanna jump in the camera, say hi to the people?
Hi people.
I knew that's as much as she'd give you guys. But yeah, while we're out here, I figured why not take a look at how bright the screen gets when you're outdoors. Now, when you're outside, the screen definitely gets plenty bright. I don't think anybody would have any issue, even though we got a little sun. It's a pretty cloudy day, but we got some sun behind us right now. I can see the screen just fine, but something I did notice, since I am using an iPhone 11 Pro as my main daily driver, I did notice that this is a bit dimmer than those phones. This one's rated at about 600 nits, and the iPhone 11 Pro is, 900 nits. So I can expect to see a decrease in brightness. Ari's got hers over here. But when you're outdoors, you don't really see the difference that much. Just a little something I noticed inside. But like I said before, you're not going to be going from one of those phones to this one most likely, so it won't really be an issue. I say all that to say this looks fine when you're outside. And look who else is on this little walk of ours. Monster, say what's up to the people. You on here for your second scene? She's like, listen, man, we don't got time for you right now. I got grass to smell, pavement to walk on. So something we like to do, guys, when we're walking is listen to music. You guys can't see anything. Let me take this out of dark mode for a second.
Can you see it though well?
I can see.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see fine. The camera, I can tell you can't. But yeah, we got some music here, guys, because we like to listen to music while we go for these little walks. And it's nice that this phone, has those features that you'd expect from even the newer devices, like audio sharing. So I have my AirPods over here. Ari has hers, so we can just hit that button right here. I'll send in the request to share audio. Ari got the notification on her phone, so she's gonna join. And we both got our headphones on right now. We still have access to all the controls. And we're gonna listen to some Ursher. You hear it just fine?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this walk, Cookie. You don't got AirPods, but it's cool. You can listen to the birds chirp. Now, thankfully, with the SE, you still get access to portrait mode photos, but it'll work pretty much like the iPhone XR. And if you remember that one, it basically took portrait mode photos of people, but not things like pets or inanimate objects. So if I try to take a picture of our girl Cookie over here, try to go to portrait mode, it can see Cookie as the subject, but it says no person detected at the top of the screen, so it's not gonna work out. But if I flip to the front-facing camera, I get access to that portrait mode, and I can take a decent shot. Edge detection actually looks pretty good on this. So you can get those nice blurry background shots with the portrait mode using the front-facing camera on a person or the rear camera on a person, but not stuff like my beautiful dog Cookie over here, or anything like, I don't know, a Gundam, inanimate objects, that kind of stuff. Not gonna work. And just like we're used to with iPhones, the camera quality is absolutely there. Now, even when we had the iPhone 8, we were all very impressed with the camera, but with that new A13 Bionic, you're able to get some really dope shots with a lot of detail. Like, you can see some of these pictures that I took with like just the sneakers. You zoom in on that and you're gonna get a lot of nice detail there. The colors look good. I got some amazing photos of Cookie, and it doesn't just stop there. You also get great video quality at 4K. You can even get 4K 60 frames per second, which for a lot of people that doesn't mean much, but For those who want to use this phone to do a little bit more, some creative work or something, you'll be able to pull that off. And when you think about the fact that this phone is just $400, you're probably looking at one of the best cameras on a smartphone in this price range, because usually when there's those mid-tier phones, you got to give up a little something, and cameras usually are the first thing to go. But that's not what we're seeing here. All right, so we are back from the walk, watching my boy Marquez. He just dropped his video on the iPad Pro's Magic Keyboard. This is something I really want to get my hands on, so this is going to be a good video to watch. Check it out before I already made the plunge, but at least I'll know what I'm getting into now that I bought it. But yeah, just a real quick update in terms of the battery life. We're at 36%, you guys, and it's 5:06. I've actually been putting this phone through the ringer today. With all the camera stuff. I've been doing some gaming on it. So I'm actually pretty impressed that it survived for this long. I'm pretty sure I'll have to charge it in like a couple of hours, but I can see someone getting through a work day or school day with this phone without it really being an issue. Now, that's also another benefit of having the A13 Bionic processor. It's gonna be a bit more battery efficient than, let's say, the iPhone 8 was. And I know I keep comparing it to the iPhone 8, but I think it's worth talking about because I have a feeling a lot of people are going to assume that this thing is basically a rehashed iPhone 8. It kind of is, but it's a bit more than that too. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to watching this video. And when it comes to performance, the SE doesn't skip a beat. I was able to do all the things I normally do on my iPhone 11 Pro Max, which is usually a lot of gaming, and it handled everything just fine. The camera and processor are also good enough. Even if you wanted to do some light photo editing, you could, but I probably wouldn't do anything complex on this size screen like edit a video. But it's just crazy to think that there's a phone out there that matches the performance of $1,000+ phones while it only costs $400. All right guys, about to wind down, head to bed, but first I'm gonna put together a model kit really quickly, or at least some of it. But before I do that, just wanna give you guys the final battery update. We got 1% left, it's 10 p.m. And in terms of screen on time, we're looking at about 4 hours and 26 minutes. So about 4.5 hours. With this phone, you're not gonna get a crazy battery capacity like with the new iPhones. 4 hours is pretty decent, but luckily this thing does have fast charging. So if you wanted to go ahead and throw a fast charger on it, you can get 50% back within 30 minutes. So you can still take advantage of this phone even if, you know, it's about to die on you in the middle of the day. But overall, guys, I am not mad at this phone. This is honestly an easy recommendation if you're on a budget. You are not going to find an iPhone cheaper than this, brand new, or another budget phone that's going to really be able to compete with this in the way that this is able to perform. And 2020 seems to have been a really good year for Apple. They're doing a lot of listening. So this is a really good phone for anyone who wants an iPhone but doesn't want to spend, you know, above $1,000. Apple did a good job with the price point here. It's really hard to complain when you've got this kind of value at this price point. But I wanna know what you guys think. Is the iPhone SE something you're gonna pick up? I'm definitely gonna be grabbing one for my mom. Mother's Day is right around the corner, so I mean, there's no better time. But that about wraps it up, guys. If you enjoyed it, be the cool guy or girl that gives it a thumbs up, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Till then, peace. Look at Cookie sneaking off.